Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, you may not know this about me, but I am a hopeless romantic. I love love. I love shipping things. However, so often on my booktube channel when I am reviewing books, I find myself saying that I did not love the romance in the book, or I just thought it was okay. So I thought, why not make a video discussing things that I love in fictional relationships, whether they be in books, television, or movies? I do think I am a little bit picky when it comes to romantic subplots because I really want to believe in the couple. I want to root for their love. And often I just don't feel that level of investment that I am looking for. However, there are certain things that writers can do to make me love their ship. There are tropes that I particularly enjoy when it comes to romantic relationships, and I thought I would talk about 10 romantic tropes I love today. Since I so often say that fictional romances aren't doing it for me, I thought I would share the things that definitely get me invested in a ship. So, first things first, it's a very contested question. Which trope is better? Enemies to lovers or friends to lovers? Everybody has their own opinion. I will tell you though, personally, I really love both if they're done well. So trope number 1, enemies to lovers. Now, this trope can be so good if it's done well. I will say in my personal case, I think I would prefer to call this trope rivals to lovers because I do really love it when two characters get off on the wrong foot and then eventually develop romantic feelings for each other. However, at the same time, I do not want their initial hatred to be so strong that they actually did problematic things to each other. For example, if one half of the ship, tried to kill the other or something, it's a little hard for me to look past that and root for their romantic relationship. But for a specific example of the enemies to lovers trope that I just go crazy for, many people would say Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, my all-time favorite book, has an enemies to lovers plotline. The reason why I love the enemies to lovers in this book is because though the characters initially do not have the most positive opinions of each other, they both grow to learn more about the other and appreciate and respect them. And they both end up becoming better people through their relationship. I think enemies to lovers can work wonderfully when the trope involves the characters realizing that there's more to the other person than they initially believed, and their relationship causes both of them to grow as people and find something they were lacking. So, what about friends to lovers? I think if you told me I had to pick between enemies to lovers and friends to lovers, I would probably pick friends to lovers, but it's hard to say. I think the reason I love this trope so much is, for one thing, the two characters already have an established relationship, so I think it's a little easier for me to buy into the idea of them falling in love. I also really love this trope because it usually involves a lot of longing. I love the moment where one character realizes they have these romantic feelings for their friend, and then they have to struggle with how are they going to address these feelings. A lot of times you'll see one character worried that if they confess their love, it might ruin their friendship. They're worried the other person may not be able to feel the same way about them. And I just think this friends to lovers plot can be so delicious, for lack of a better word. Just there's so much you can do with that, and I just love the longing of it all. I love it. And when you have that big moment of realization where one or both of the characters realizes that their feelings now go beyond friendship and have become actual deep romantic love, that moment is so beautiful and it makes me go feral. I love this trope. And there are so many great examples, I don't even know which ones I could name. If you want a classic lit example, the main couple from Emma comes to mind. There have been so many other friends to lovers ships that I have really enjoyed. I love this trope. So for trope number 3, this trope is, you could say, a sub-trope of the friends to lovers trope, but I absolutely love the childhood best friends turned lovers trope. This trope just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I think it is so romantic to have a fictional relationship where two childhood best friends end up falling in love. And I think the reason why I love this so much is I love the idea of literally spending your whole life with someone. Like, this is a person that has been with you since childhood, and you've experienced the best and the worst of what life has to offer together. This is someone who has been such an integral part of your life story, and I think two characters just growing together and spending a vast majority of their lives side by side is so romantic and beautiful. It makes my heart melt. An example of this trope in a book would be Tommy and Tuppence from the Tommy and Tuppence Mysteries by Agatha Christie. The two of them were childhood friends who reconnect after the war, and after they reconnect, Tommy eventually realizes that he loves Tuppence and always has. Now, if you want me to like your romantic relationship, I think it really has to be a slow burn romance. I've noticed that really all of my favorite fictional couples either come from book series or television shows. I think that I need to see a slow burn romance to really buy into it, because if two characters meet and initially are attracted to each other and then by the end of book 1 they're already a couple, I just have a hard time buying into it. I want to see the slow realization. I want to see their relationship gradually get deeper. I want to see the moment of realization where they realize, I've been slowly falling in love with this person and I didn't realize it until now. I think that is more realistic and just all in all more enjoyable for me as a reader or viewer. Obviously, yes, you do hear stories of people who experienced love at first sight. They saw the other person and they just knew. But I think that's extremely rare, and usually when two people experience an instant attraction, it's not love, but lust. I like to see the slow build up to the romantic relationship. I want the couple to have a strong foundation so I can look at them and understand why the two of them love each other. I think the slow burn romance makes it easier to understand the connection between the two characters, their emotional connection and how they are compatible. And let me tell you, once you have established a good slow burn romance and I am invested, I will be screaming at my book or my television screen, begging for these two to admit their love and kiss. Which brings us to trope number 5, mutual pining. I am calling it this because this is the term that you commonly see used in fan fiction, but there's something so wonderful to me about two characters where they each love the other, but they're convinced the other person doesn't love them back. On one hand, it's kind of frustrating, but I also love it. I feel like it's a great way to get me emotionally invested. It's going to get me to, like I said, scream at the book or the television to be like, you two idiots, you both love one another. Just say you love them. You both feel the same way. I just love the yearning. I love it when both people are silently longing for the other and just wanting to be with them so badly, but they don't know how to say it or if the other person will return their feelings. I just love that, and I think it makes the moment where they finally admit their feelings and get together all the more satisfying, knowing it was a long time coming. So, another trope that I always love in romantic relationships is a trope that I'm going to call like an old married couple. I love ships who have a slightly bickering relationship, or more accurately, a bantering relationship. I love ships who banter, okay? I just love it when two characters have this amazing witty repartee. It is so fun, and I think it makes me like the couple more because it causes me to see the two of them as intellectual equals, as two people who can keep up with one another and play off one another in a really delightful way. I think having two characters banter or bicker in one way can be really charming and just fun, and I also think it's a great way to build up some romantic or sexual tension. An example from literature of this trope, I would say, is Benedict and Beatrice from Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare, the OG bantering duo. These two have a war of words every time they meet, but though they outwardly act like they hate each other, it doesn't take much for the two of them to be finally pushed to admit their feelings to one another. Just an absolutely amazing relationship dynamic. Makes me go crazy every time. If your work of fiction has a couple like this, I'll probably ship it. I probably will. All right, so your work of fiction has a couple. They've been dancing around each other for a while, whether they're enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, maybe they have a great witty banter going on, but what's the next trope you need to have? Now, your delicious slow burn romance has to have an almost kiss. Now, I did not come up with this term. I believe this term is used by tvtropes.com. But this basically refers to a moment in fiction where the two characters, the ship, end up getting very physically close to one another for some reason. Maybe they've been arguing and they just slowly inch closer to one another. Maybe the two of them are trying to escape danger and they're hiding in some place. But however it comes about, the two of them end up very physically close without meaning to be, and they have that moment where they just look at each other. Their faces are suddenly very close. They could kiss if they wanted to. There's that pause, that moment where they are both looking at each other, and they seem like they are about to, and then they don't. And this moment just makes me lose my shit. Every time. Every time I just lose my shit. Can it be a little frustrating because you want two characters to kiss really badly and they end up not kissing at the last minute? Yes, but the anticipation and the tension is so good. I absolutely love this. It is a tried and true classic for ships. I mean, I'm sure there's so many different examples. Take, for instance, the scene in the rain in the 2005 Pride and Prejudice. I believe the first Veronica Speedwell book might have this. I can't really remember, but every time this happens, I fall for it every time. It is so good. Now, another trope that I love, and another way to make me love your slow burn romance even more, is the fake dating trope, or sometimes the fake marriage trope. So this basically refers to when two characters who are not a couple have to pretend to be a couple for some reason. And the reason I love this trope so much is because it forces two characters who haven't realized their feelings yet, or haven't admitted their feelings yet, to act in an affectionate way. And if you are pretending to be in a relationship with someone that you already have feelings for, or who you haven't realized your feelings for yet, the physical closeness and intimacy of it can really make those feelings rise to the surface. You could use this trope to help the characters realize their feelings, or just to increase the longing and the romantic tension. So a book that has the fake dating or fake marriage trope is the first Veronica Speedwell mystery by Deanna Raybourn. I fell in love with this book and this ship, and I think Deanna Raybourn really she won me over when she included this trope. The two of them as part of an investigation masquerade as husband and wife, which really helps to build the growing romantic tension between the two of them, and it gets even better because the fake marriage trope then leads into the there was only one bed trope. This is a trope you commonly see in fan fictions where two characters who have not admitted their love yet have to share a bed for some reason. Basically, you know, force them to be in close proximity and a very intimate situation. So when this book had these two tropes, I just fell in love. I fell in love. I sold my soul to Deanna Raybourn. This woman knows what I want, okay? She knows what she has to do to make me lose my mind. And I thank her for it. When it's time for the characters to finally admit their feelings, how should you do it? Now, these two tropes are both just two things that I absolutely love when it comes to a love confession. And this first one is what I'm going to call Because I Love You. Imagine, these two characters who have been fighting their feelings all this time are having an argument, and in the middle of the argument, one of the characters, in frustration, just screams, "It's because I love you!" They don't even realize at first that they've said it. The other person just stands there in shock, unable to believe, oh my god, they just said they love me. They've never said that before. You guys, it's so good. It's so good. I think what I love about this is that you get to experience the shock sort of alongside the character. They're both so surprised. The one is like, oh my god, I can't believe I just told them I love them this way. The other person can't believe, oh my god, they actually love me back. And then there's me, the consumer of the fictional media, like barely able to breathe because I cannot believe that my ship is finally about to happen. It is so, so good. I think this works really well with a fictional couple who maybe do have that bickering, bantering sort of thing going on, or, you know, where both of the characters are just too stubborn to admit their feelings. It is so immensely satisfying to me. Absolutely love this. And finally, a trope that I hope to someday use in my own writing, and one of my favorite ways to get the couple to finally be together is a trope that I am going to call I Can't Live Without You. And I love this trope because it includes so much angst and pain, but then results in a beautiful conclusion. So basically what I mean by this trope is one of the two people in this fictional ship ends up being extremely injured. Perhaps they've been hurt saving the other person's life. Perhaps they're unconscious. And this injury, which could prove fatal, causes the other character to realize, I cannot live without this person. If they die, I will be heartbroken. I need to tell them that I love them because I can't live without them. I absolutely go crazy for this. Like, it just has so many different emotions and it gets me every time. Bonus points if character A confesses their love to character B while character B is unconscious and character A thinks that they can't hear them, but then character B wakes up and reveals, yeah, I actually heard everything you said, character A, and guess what? I love you too. my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart. Oh, this is so good. It makes me feel every single emotion, and I may weep. I may weep. Oh, I love this so, so, so much. If you're writing a fictional ship, make this happen and then send me the scene. I will lose it. I will absolutely lose it. So, I hope you enjoyed my list of my favorite romantic tropes. Do let me know in the comments, what are your favorite romantic tropes in fiction? Are there any really good ones that I forgot? It's entirely possible, so let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Should I make another list with my top 10 least favorite romantic tropes, or should I say my worst 10? My worst 10 romantic tropes? Do let me know if you would like to see that someday. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. My social media links are down below if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you next time.